not live yet, are we?
I don't know.
It's Dave.
Oh, we're live now. Okay, perfect. Thanks, Dave. We're live now. Okay, perfect. So good evening, everyone. Welcome to the January 5th meeting of the Middle School Committee. My name is Carrie Roach. I'm your current chair. I will start by saying this meeting, stating that this meeting is being recorded and can be viewed on YouTube. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the... I love hearing myself. So I'll start by taking roll call. Robin Briggs.
Here.
Stephen Catalano.
Here.
Mark Conroy.
Here.
Denise Gibbons.
Here.
We have no speaker or student reps. Superintendent.
Yeah.
Perfect. And we also have Terry Wiggins joining us. So for open session, to be consistent with how we've conducted Zoom meetings in the past, we have an email address set up. So if anyone has any questions or comments that they would like to send out to the school committee, the email address for tonight's meeting is sc0105, so today's date, @millischools.org. So again, it's sc0105 @millischools.org. And if we get any questions, we will make sure that we compile them, answer your questions in a document, and we'll post it to our website, and we'll send them out via listserv like we've done in the past. So that's for our open session for this evening. So we'll run into our action items. We have consideration to approve the 12:15 school committee meeting minutes. I will take a motion.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Catalano.
I make a motion to approve the December 15th, 2020 school committee meeting minutes.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Sorry, I was just reading the note. So we'll move into the superintendent's report. So Mr. Mullaney, you have a COVID-19 update for us.
Right. So we obviously just coming back from New Year's break, the winter break there. And so we were interested to see what the numbers are, but knowing that it's always changing. So at this point, staffing is fine in each of the buildings. In the district, we have 4 students out with positive results for COVID. No close contacts in the schools. We have 16 students in the district out who have been determined to be close contacts that occurred outside of school. We have 13 students out due to travel over the holidays, and we have 7 students out due to parent concerns and things like that. So the numbers right now aren't bad. There could be, as we saw after Thanksgiving travel, there could be, a spike ahead of us, and we're certainly monitoring that. We do have a health and safety committee that meets weekly to look at the metrics and discuss potential issues and potential responses to issues. And that, as I said, that group meets weekly, and we will certainly be monitoring the situation, particularly if there is this, surge within a surge that so many experts are talking about. And obviously all around us, we have a lot of incidences. So far, knock wood, we've been able to not have in-school transmissions. But I think the nature of this virus is it is possible that we could have in-school transmission at some point, and we will certainly address that as it happens.
Thanks, Bob. So one not, maybe it's a question, but I know, so our staffing concerns or our staffing challenges tend to be, or had been in Clyde Brown. I know that we have onboarded some new subs. Can we just, do you have just like a brief update on that for people?
Yeah, so the number of staff out due to COVID is at this right now at 7:10 on Tuesday, January 5th. There's no one out due to COVID. There's some people out close contacts, but not large numbers. We've been able to staff all schools, and particularly Clyde Brown, and I'd like to thank all the college kids that have stepped up and stepped in, and other subs as well. It was also a very nice gesture by a number of parents and some local organizations who donated gift cards to the subs for their, for answering the call. It was really nice. So I'd like to thank Dunkin' Donuts and Millis, and also Cravings, and a number of parents who organized that to show appreciation for the subs. So right now we don't have staffing issues, and we don't have staff who are quarantining because of positive tests or anything like that. Again, it could change before this meeting's over, but that's where we are right now. Tana Django was able to train 9 substitutes back in December. So, for the particular protocols at Clyde Brown, because it's certainly their protocols have to be a lot more structured than in the middle school and the high school. So those substitutes have been onboarded, and a number of them have gotten their feet wet with kids in the building taking on different sub roles. So we're pretty pleased with that. I think most of the college kids that are helping out, we have them for a few weeks in January, but there are also some other people who have stepped up who will be available to us beyond January. So I think right now it looks pretty good.
Perfect. Yeah, and we've learned to knock on wood, because we know things can change pretty
Right.
quickly.
Yeah. If my phone buzzes, it could be some kind of other news.
Yeah. One other thing I just wanted to, just to bring up, or just to put out there is, like you said, the Health and Safety Committee, we meet every week. We have been going through some of the original protocols that we put in place, because things have changed, and we're going back and updating those. So specifically, the quarantine time frames and all of the CDC recommendations on, when you are a close contact, how long do you quarantine, or what's the testing protocol? So as those evolve, with the CDC and the state, we're now going back to update our documentation so we can try to keep up with it. There is a little bit of a lag. I mean, things do change pretty quickly. So we're doing the best that we can to keep up with those and make sure that our documents are up to date with the protocols that we're following. Okay, anything from the committee on COVID updates that you'd like to discuss?
Madam Chair,
Yes, Mr. Conroy.
can I just a note too, I know you mentioned the quarantine protocols, but the other thing that I think, and we've done it, we've shown we've been doing it, is just even when we were back in August and September, kind of that original red, green, and yellow scale and what it would mean, and kind of the view that it could be automatic triggers of how we transition, and really in practice and just over time, that's shifted from what everybody thought across the state to how things are being managed now. And it's not just schools. I think it's everything where people are looking much closer at what's going on in their specific building, whether it's your own business or even in schools, where it's more about what's going on right inside as opposed to the community or the town or, you know, a cluster of communities. Just because they're red doesn't have the same knee-jerk reaction that it would have in early September. So we're working through that as well.
Agreed. Yep. Anyone else? Okay. Mr. Mulaney, I'll throw it back to you.
Okay, and then just some upcoming things we have on January 19th. We have a professional development day, no school for students. And there will be a presentation from Mark, MARC, Massachusetts Aggression Reduction Center, and they're out of Bridgewater State University, and they're conducting training for our staff on anti-racism, anti-bias, and diversity training. So we're looking forward to that. It's obviously something very topical and very important for our staff. And that will be the 19th. And we've also, that professional development day was originally scheduled for January 15th, which was a Friday. We've been able to move that to a Tuesday, and that has also helped to balance out the discrepancy that was existing between cohort A in-person instruction and cohort B in-person instruction. I believe with those tweaks, I think we have it down to a 2.5 day difference between cohort A and cohort B in terms of when they're live in person. And of course, in the winter, anything can happen. You know, obviously we have a snow day and it's cohort B had the snow day, but who knows what else will transpire in the weeks ahead. And I shouldn't even say snow day, it was a remote day. And so, you know, but we are keeping an eye on that. We want to, you know, be as equitable as we can be with the amount of in-person instruction that students are getting while we're in hybrid.
Perfect.
I had a quick question about that.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if we could look at the calendar from here on out and see when other professional days are and potentially schedule those for Wednesday so that students aren't missing out on in-person learning days.
Yeah, I think that's something we can certainly look at. I think, you know, based on the, you know, I think it's something we'd need to, you know, get input from parents and as well as the Teachers Association on that. But certainly those could be things we look at as well.
Okay, thank you.
We don't have our next professional development day after January is March, I believe. So, but we can definitely look into that as ways to, you know, keep kids coming into the building.
Right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Maybe eventually we'll be back in school full time.
Oh, that
At
would
some
be a great
point.
thing. That would be a great thing.
Yes. Okay. Oh, sorry. Did you have anything else in your superintendent's?
And then let me see. There's also just student learning time beginning on January 19th. A new set of regulations will go into effect involving student learning time. And I'm gonna, if it's okay with you, I'd like to share my screen and just, you know, show what the regs are and kind of discuss where we are in light of the regs. And just as a spoiler alert, we're in pretty good shape. Let's see if I can.
We can see it.
Okay. So yeah, so the state has come up with regulations on how much live quote unquote instruction there is that students should be receiving, minimum numbers of live instruction. Live instruction, by the definition for these particular regulations, is in person or remote synchronous instruction. And so the regulations say that the schools operating in the hybrid learning model must provide students with access to at least 35 hours of live instruction over a 10-day period. Back in November, end of October, beginning of November, the state had school districts submit learning hours in which they broke down 2 weeks of school. And they did the 2-week breakdown because some schools that were on a hybrid model were going week on, week off. So they took 2 weeks worth of instruction. How many days were live in person? How many days were synchronous? How many days were asynchronous? And that's what they used and to find out about the various models in each school. They also said in the hybrid model, students must have an opportunity to interact with educators each school day with a live check-in that would become a requirement. We were in good shape when these regulations came out because we met all the criteria. And I think it's testament to the agreement between the Millis Public Schools and the Millis Teachers Association. So that we met these regulations no problem. Unfortunately, some other districts that might have, when kids were on remote days, it was completely asynchronous. Now they have to go back and change their schedules and things like that. So those, I just wanted to highlight that those are the regulations that will go into effect on January 19th, and the fact that we are in compliance with those. They'll be doing another data collection in the first couple weeks of February. So they're going to be monitoring this throughout the year, they'll make sure that the kids are getting a minimum of 35 hours of live instruction, and we far exceed it on average for the district. It's 49 hours of live instruction.
Perfect. Anyone have any questions? Okay.
And then the only other thing I have is the high school is having a health fair tomorrow. And there's also some components of it that 8th grade will attend. And it's the high school health fair, and I have to give kudos to Erin Sullivan and Lynn Molinari for putting this together. It's an unbelievable program, and they've been working really hard at it. And Lynn's been doing it in addition to all the other things she's doing as a result of COVID. So it's just so impressive. But the health fair itself, the students will have a combination of keynote presentations for all the students, and interspersed with workshops that kids can choose from. And the speakers are just so impressive. Ashley Bendixson is a young woman who is a noted speaker, and through a merit grant, we were able to acquire Ashley to speak with students. So her presentation will be first thing in the morning. And then through a grant from the Kyle Cares Foundation, we've been able to have Jordan Burnham from Minding Your Mind come and speak with the whole high school in the 8th grade. And he is a noted presenter on mental health issues and disorders, and he's someone who has struggled with those in his own life, and his story is an amazing story, and he's been featured in a number of magazines and newspapers. He's been on ESPN, E60, just an amazing story. And then Chris Sullivan, who's a local athlete who played for the Patriots in the 90s, won a Super Bowl with the Steelers in 2001, and wound up having issues with substance abuse and addiction. So he has a very powerful message for the kids as well. And then the workshops range from nutrition, self-defense. We have mindful doodling workshop that kids have signed up for. So it runs the gamut, and it's really, I'd like to thank Erin and Lynn for all their work on getting this together. The organizations that are supporting the speakers who we're having, and the speakers in the workshop presenters. It's really a great opportunity and for our kids, and it's really another example of how the community supports its schools. So I just wanted to mention that.
Thanks. I actually saw it. I think it must have been an Instagram post about it. And the keynote speaker had said something about it. It looks like a really great program. So I'm sure that the students are going to thoroughly enjoy it. So thank you again for everyone that got that together and managed that. I would like some mindful doodling. That sounds a little nice. Okay. Did you have anything else, Bob, in your superintendent?
I think that is all from me.
Perfect. Thank you. I have nothing in the chair report. It was a pretty light agenda today. I know we do have an executive session that we have to talk about some upcoming contracts. Any old or new business that we need to discuss? Okay, then why don't we, so our next meeting is set for January 19th. As of now, it is set for an in-person meeting. We're gonna, obviously we strive to do in person. This meeting being the first one back from vacation, and knowing that it was a pretty light agenda, we moved it to Zoom. So right now today, the January 19th meeting is set for in person, but of course it's subject to change with anything that's going on with COVID and that, all of the things that are happening in the world. If we do change it, we post the meetings 48 hours in advance so that it will be noted. So I guess we need to adjourn to executive session. So I will take a motion.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Catalano.
I make a motion to adjourn to executive session for the purposes of contract negotiations for union and non-union personnel, not to come back into open session.
I think Denise said second.
Second, I did. Sorry, I was on mute.
Moved and second. Any further discussion? This requires a roll call vote. Denise Gibbons.
Aye.
Steve Catalano.
Aye.
Mark Conroy.
Aye.
Robin Briggs.
Aye.
I am an aye. So we are adjourned. Thank you very much.